What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today was a super last minute decision, but we are headed to the junkyard. I am looking for a couple of parts, so I'm definitely gonna shoot towards those first. My brother is looking for some visors. I'm looking for a water pump housing, and I didn't check to see if they have a DA Integra, but I need some spindles, maybe some rear calipers, and all of that right there is for the JDM EF2. So we're about to pull up here in a minute. We'll see you guys inside. So there's one EF hatch in here as well too that I want to check out the plugs because of the hatch that's on my driveway. Couldn't really find a real diagram online to kind of compare SI DX 88, 89 to 91. So I want to see it for myself in person. So one of the first car is this car I wanted to check out. This one I saw on Facebook Marketplace and I was going to buy it, 1,500 bucks. It's an EX sedan, right? And then somebody else bought it and the motor blew up and then he was parting it out. So I asked the guy, I was like, yo, let me get the back seats. He was being a little dick about it, so I ended up not buying it. And guess what? Ended up in the junkyard. I remember these EX model, and kind of irritated on resellers because I was looking for the spindles and it's the first thing gone. I needed the spindles for a big brake upgrade, and there's no DAs in the yard. These spindles are gone, and I don't want to use DC Integra. I mean, it's clean, but yeah. Front seat's super clean too. Look at this thing. Somebody was restoring it and ended up in the junkyard. Shouldn't be letting people in here with chanclas or slippers. They need to do better. Another thing that I need is a water pump housing for Chewy's K24. Look at this, brand new OEM Denso. I'm pretty sure the K24A4 is the same as the TSX, same configuration, just different internally. So probably gonna yank this one off. This yard has been dropping on a lot of new rows. You can see on the floor all the orange marks, and there's a bunch of them all the way down. All the mechanics are like literally waiting for the tow truck to drop each car. But just want to finish up this row before I take off that water pump housing. EK owners, junkyard, best bet for 99-2000 front end, and they are OEM. I mean, realistically, all you got to do is change the grill, but if you're okay with the chrome, 99-2000 front end. It's not that expensive in the yard versus like buying it from somebody else or buying everything brand new. I mean, aside from like sometimes the hoods get damaged like this, I mean, plenty of the EK still come to the yard. So if you guys are running the K24A2 engine in your swap car and you're using the limp dick manifold, but you're not the electronic throttle control, you can get the throttle body off the Honda Accord because this is cable driven, right? And it'll bolt up to this manifold, which is again the same as the TSX. So I really wanted this freaking alternator, but honestly, I don't even use K24 alternators, so I'm just gonna fight myself to leave it here in the yard. So let's go ahead and pull out this water pump housing. Gonna need that. Gonna need this and this one. I'm gonna go ahead and toss his alternator in the trunk. I said F it, I'm gonna drop the subframe. Took all the bolts off. Now AC compressor can come off. I need this, but I don't need this. And take off the water pump as well too. This thing is super gunked. Honestly guys, I need to find this hatch because I want to check out the wiring, and they've been swapping a ton of new cars. I'm hoping they didn't take yet. Ugh. So the hatch is row 34. This is 35, 34. Oh, it's right there. They're actually on the verge of taking it out. It is the 4th car. So I gotta dive into this real quick. It's got some rear mud guards, but the wrong year. This car is primered gray, but it's red, but it has a blue dash. Somebody was trying to work on this, but unfortunately it's in the yard. So I need to look at the wiring down here and see which one is in the other hatch. So let me grab my tools. So the car is a 91 with 88, 89 moldings. Dashboard is 90, 91, and that's just reference for me. This has 2 pins on the outside. The one in the car at my house has a 3-pin on the cabin side. So the dash harness in the other car is 9091, and the harness that they replaced it with is an 8889. I need to confirm with the rear harness, so let me dig that out real quick somewhere up here. Okay, so these plugs confirm 9091, and that's what I have right there. You can see that one extra plug. That is this guy right here. So the cabin harness, the one that is the firewall, is the one that's different between the dash harness and the chassis harness with that hatch on my driveway. I'll show it to you guys when I get back to the pad, but I just don't have an 88, 89 to compare. Although my KRX is an 88, the entire inside of the car is 9091. So okay, well that kind of again helps me confirm a little bit here. The last thing I need to look for are CRVs, which they have an 08, 06, both in row 6 for my brother's car. But I came back to the Civic EX real quick because I need a battery tray for my JDM EF2. And we have one there, which oddly, if you look, it's like all scratched up. It's kind of weird. But 3 12mm bolts and it should be out. This car is an EX, so it comes with a D16A6 with the multi-point manifold. Has a new start on it, but unfortunately the guy said the motor's blown. I also do need a 1516 master. Minimal rust. That's freaking awesome. Row 6, here's the first CRV. This would have been a lot easier to take off the water pump housing. My brother needs a driver's side visor. It's gone. There should be another one here. BMW, Mazda, Mitsu. There should be another CRV here. This is also a CRV, but different year. So I'm not entirely sure when the 2nd gen ends. Oh, that's an 08. So this yard only has 1 1st gen and 1 2nd gen and then 3rd gen. Well, no visors. So what would have been our dub is an L, but it's okay because we outweigh our wins over losses, and we have the water pump housing and the battery tray. I paid, I believe it was like 40 bucks, which is perfectly fine with me. 39.21. Now let's head back to the pad and see what else we get into. So we just got back home, guys, and I forgot to tell y'all, I finally found the t-shirt. I actually found this in between my bed like way down deep between the wall, and I've actually lost the shirt for quite some time. If you guys remember the Young Static X Meow Meow t-shirt, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, I know some of you guys said to bring back that t-shirt, but realistically I couldn't find it for the sake of me. I did find it like last week, and I did a different rendition of it because I don't actually have the file, so I had to take a picture of it, modify it, and then, you know, if you guys haven't figured it out by now, I do a lot of photoshopping with my images for t-shirt. Then I let AI kind of help me with the rest of it to kind of clean up a lot of the lines, because I'm not like a professional with, you know, After Effects or, you know, Photoshop or whatever. So I did a different version of it, and there are two versions of it, but I actually didn't even print the other one. But the first one, which is kind of like the one that's on my t-shirt now, if I can find it, looks okay. I think it looks okay. The valve cover, it was a K-series valve cover when I was doing the artwork, and you know, AI always changes it a little bit. So let me find that print real quick. So if you guys look, we have the same cat that's on the back, but the valve cover looks kind of like a K until it comes over here, and I'm like, what the heck is this extra piece right here? So I'm not sure what that is, but this is a revised version of what's on this t-shirt right here. I know I want to bring it back, but I have to work on the artwork a little bit more. And also, I've been getting a lot of DMs about the Meow Meow t-shirt design. I have 20 here, and I want to order more before I release this design. A lot of people has been hitting me up on Instagram about inquiries of getting that specific design, but it's not ready to go. But I appreciate you guys. When it is ready to go, you guys again will know. So we're not doing any t-shirt today, or at least on camera. I got a couple orders to fulfill that I got when I was out at the junkyard. All I'm doing today is I'm just going to go ahead and do some acid cleaner on this piece right here, because it's really freaking nasty. I want to clean this up and just kind of have it ready. If you guys haven't seen the last video, I shown that the housing on here is completely cracked, and also completely cracked right there. The alternator was freaking completely cracked, so I took it, warrantied it out, got a new one right here. And yeah, the housing is for this engine, which is for my buddy Chewy with the avocado avocado wagon. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just do that, and I might just dive into the hatch a little bit more. Take a good look at this housing. Okay, take a good look. We're gonna spray, we're gonna agitate, and we're gonna spray again, and then we're gonna rinse. Look at the inside. See all that? Somebody come look at this. Come look at this water pump housing for the K24. Looking a lot more crispier than how we got it out of the yard. Dude, that acid cleaner works wonderful. Hell yeah. Chewy, you lucky you got a friend like me, bro. Guys, man, this car, I'm like trying really hard to, like, before this car goes home, I want to turn it on, and I want to like depin, repin the harnesses together between the 88, 89 to 90, 91, or whatever is going on with the firewall harness. And I've been at this thing for a couple of hours now, and I am like, I'm about to run my head into a brick wall. But with the help of my homie Chewy, he just pulled up right now, you know, avocado wagon, and he helped me out with a lot of the wiring and stuff, because he messes with wiring a little more than I do. But we've gotten down to the point of tracking, tracing, checking, fixing a ton of wire. And Tell me why it's crazy. We did all the fixes and we're like, man, why the fuel pump does not turn on? So I called my buddy and I was like, hey man, like, how'd you get the car to turn on before I dove into it? And he was like, oh yeah, there's a single wire that goes from the back to the front. I said, what is that for? He goes, oh, it's wired to the fuel pump directly. So I finally dug everything out of the car and checked the wiring for the fuel pump, and it's actually snipped in the back. All the crap that we did in the front, the reason why the thing wasn't turning on the whole freaking time was because it was snipped in the back. Oh my God. So we repaired it and still the car wasn't like turning on or whatever the case is. And then we kind of like started messing with the starter wiring system to try to figure out what was going on with that. So we found a couple of stuff, starter relay, all that stuff wasn't even connected because the fuse box, the harness, everything was swapped out and just nothing was plugged back in. So after now tearing apart the fuse box and everything out of the car again, we found the entire problem. And then we kind of fixed, repaired, we added the relay and stuff back in, we bypassed the clutch switch, everything, and we got the car to turn on from the key, ignition, just exactly how they wanted us to fix it. So I want to give you guys a quick little turn on. Unfortunately, I'm sure it's out of gas, but we got this car to turn on by the ignition switch. Now the reason why it's like this is because they didn't leave me the key, so we're just gonna have to do it getaway. So anyways, just want to show you guys really quickly, we got the fuel pump now to turn on. And mind you guys, the harness is not connected from the firewall to the rear because it's two different plugs, but I do have gator clips on it for the fuel pump. So with the key on, it turns on the main relay and the fuel pump and the ECU. So now fuel pump is working if it has gas, and we can turn this thing on by the ignition switch now. And it has no gas, and it has giant injectors on it. We don't know what's in the ECU to program those injectors, so it's really choppy and it sounds really lean, and it doesn't help because it has no gas. But we got one of the big main issues done and out of the way, which is to turn the car on by the key, right? And then the other issue is the 9091 dash harness obviously does not plug into the 8889 firewall harness. So that's another issue we have to sort of kind of figure out, unless they switch over to an 8889 cluster with the harness. That's the easiest fix. But you know, as far as this goes, we figured out that for the most part. So I'm stoked about it. Guys, we got a little carried away, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. We were kind of putting a little bit more work before wrapping it up here in the garage, and we kind of just went the whole nine. We were already there, tools were already there, and me and the homie Chewy just kind of went at it, figured out some of the wirings, and just kind of bypassed a lot of the plugs and just did wire to wire, and with the help of glues to kind of hold the wires in place. As long as you don't touch it, it ain't gonna move. So now we got cluster lights, right? It's kind of dim. Let me see. There we go. We got cluster lights. We got rear lights. Tail lights work when you depress. We got the license plate light, which only has one. There you go. We're flashing for sure. So that's all working. And you know, the goal was to get this thing to turn on with the key, and it does just that. Now I'm not going to turn the car on for you guys because it has dead, you know, it has no fuel. But it's practically ready to go. So Alex is here to load it up on the trailer, and we'll see you guys inside to you know, cap out this video because it's starting to get really freaking cold right now. Yeah, with the lights working, high beams working. This car's going home tonight, guys. It's going home tonight. We're still not on my t-shirt table, but I promise you guys in the next clip. Alex also put some gas in here too. Those big ass injectors with that stock ECU, man. Sounds like Tazzy's wagon all cammed and chopped out. Okay, he's still rolling. told him to swap out the injectors for some stock ones to kind of rule out the misfire sound or whatever this choppiness that it has. It sounds like a motorcycle, to be honest with you guys. Sheesh, that worked out. Got tail lights, look at that, tail lights. That worked out, boys. That worked out. Come on, come on. You got like a foot and a half? Right there. It's crazy how much today kind of like just shifted focus. We went to the junkyard to try to score some EX spindles. Unfortunately, they were taken already. And I know it was taken in the yard because the car in the picture that was in my email showed that it had the wheels on the front, and it was taken off in the yard. They left the calipers hanging because whoever owned the car before, if they were going to take the spindles, they probably would have taken the whole entire unit, right? So the spindles got taken, and the last one that showed up in Newark, somebody bought it over there and then tried to flip it on Facebook for like 600 bucks, which is crazy. But you know, if I find some DA ones, whatever, I'll run DAs, no problem. And the big brake conversion for the JDM EF2 is just gonna have to wait. Although we didn't score those, we did get the water pump housing for the Homie Chewy and also the battery tray for the JDM EF2. So I need to start prepping that up soon so we can get it all sprayed up. I am gonna be keeping the battery in the engine bay because I want it to be like OE plus, especially because I'm gonna have AC power steering, all that cool luxury stuff. And then we kind of dove a little bit more into the EF hatchback, which I've shown, I'm sure, in the previous video, and we dove in it pretty damn deep. It is currently 11:23 right now, and the car just left. Alex drove it out to the trailer, and I told him that the car does sound like it has a misfiring, but it does have big injectors and an unknown chipped ECU, so nothing is corresponding between the injector, the map, the dead times, all that ECU side of things. But I told him I have stock injectors. Let me know when you are available. I'll go back to your pad, swap the injectors out, and try to like time the engine, you know, mess with the distributor and all of that, so the car can sound a little bit better before the actual owner takes it to the dyno. So maybe some future hatch content, I don't know. But so with that being said, guys, I am going to wrap up the video right here. A quick little junkyard stroll that turned into fixing an EF hatchback that sat for 2 years. Another EF on the road, hopefully here soon. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for, I'm not sure, the homie Mauricio from the last video that pulled up in his Turbo CRX, that car is probably going to make an appearance here on my driveway for some quick little fabrication work on his lower radius support to support his radiator and his intercooler. So if you guys want to see some Turbo CRX content, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.